Two tools. Two tools. Two tools. No clue!
Hey everyone! Welcome to the Two Tools, No Clue podcast. I'm Anna,
And I'm Jeidan.
and on today's mini-sode, mini but great, we're going to talk about This is a Gardening Show. What did we think about it? And we don't usually do what's going on around the homestead on our mini-sodes, but I would just like to point out, especially for our viewers, our mascot has produced a flower. And not one, but two. Right here
Oh my
is
gosh.
another one.
Cutie.
You can't really see
Can't
it.
really see it, but
But you can
soon.
see this guy.
Yeah. Very
Look
cool.
how gorgeous. It hasn't opened fully yet, but this guy's been through it. I got this from your old boss
Yikes.
like 5 years ago at this point,
It's in better hands.
and it has been through so much with me. I go through these little depressive episodes where I forget to water my plants.
You've been doing
And
a lot better.
I
Your plants
haven't
are
seen
beautiful.
it flower since my last little depressy episode.
Oh
So
no. Well, here you
here
go.
we are.
Happy spring, Anna.
Happy spring.
Glad to see you smiling.
Thanks. So I covered the first 3 episodes
Yeah.
because there were 6 episodes and they were all like 15 minutes long.
Yeah, one of mine was fairly short. It was 12 minutes, my last one
Oh,
for
nice.
episode 6.
Heck yeah.
Short but sweet. Still learned a decent amount in that time though, which was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I liked it. I wish they were longer.
I can never say this guy's last name. Zach Galifianakis.
Yes. Something like that. Something along those lines.
Sorry, but we've appreciated watching it so far. So I didn't watch the first 3 episodes, and I didn't watch the last 3 episodes. And I'm gonna learn with you guys right now.
Heck yeah. So let's go. Episode 1. He started by saying the future is agrarian, which I agree with.
Yeah, he kept saying that.
Yeah, he said it in every single episode.
Yeah.
But that's how he started it too.
Okay.
Just
Very
straight off the
interesting.
bat. Well, first he talked about food and community,
Okay.
but then he said the future is agrarian.
Yeah. He's not wrong.
Did he interview kids at the beginning of your episode?
Every single episode, I thought
that.
it was hilarious. I commented on it every time because I thought it was pretty funny.
Right. The first kids, honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to like the show because of the first group of kids, because I mean, we don't plan on having kids. I don't mind kids, but I'm not like a kid person. I don't seek them out. So this group of kids started like bullying him, and I was like, I don't know
Oh, wow.
how I would handle that. He did it. He did really well.
That didn't happen.
He just like accepted
How
it.
old were they?
Like 5 or 6.
Okay, yeah. So the elementary school.
I felt kind of weird because there's only a couple instances where they like said quotes of information.
Yeah.
So I just took those, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna repeat them.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because they were good. Yeah.
Yeah, so quoted
I did
from
similar things.
this documentary. Wild apples were discovered in modern day, and help me here, Kazakhstan?
Okay.
Kazakhstan?
Kazakhstan. Yeah, I think you said it right.
Over 75,000 years ago. The
Whoa.
humans didn't learn how to grow specific varieties until around 800 BC, when the Greeks developed grafting techniques.
Oh.
And I learned some shit about apples I had no idea about.
Oh my gosh, tell me.
And it makes me feel better, honestly.
Okay.
So, first and foremost, did you know that ducks can mow grass?
No.
He gets into this orchard with Danielle from Fruit Forest Farm, and the ducks are quacking in the background. So he's like, "Hush up, guys!" And she's like, "Don't yell at them. They're the workers. They mow the grass." I didn't know ducks
That's
could
genius.
do that.
Well, okay, I tell you all the time. This is a different documentary. I always get the name wrong. Little Big Farm.
Yes. Oh, we should do commentary on that too.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, but they also kind of like jump. I think it was from that documentary. And there was this one part about the soil and
Mhm.
how we're just destroying it by mowing it because the way that your soil is the only way your soil is gonna regenerate underneath, like, grass or really anything cover crops that you grow is the best way for it to happen is for an animal to just grab it, and it pulls the roots instead of going over it and creating this dust bowl that
Right.
is bound to happen again. Come on, people.
Why is that? For the roots to come all the way up, or
I
just
think
for
so,
them
and
to
I
get
think it's like a
jostled?
reaction. I don't know. I think it had to do with something to do with the nitrogen or something like that. I can't really
Interesting.
remember, but we
Okay.
should do
Yeah.
that. But that always sticks in my mind, and that's why like I always laugh when Stevie does it. So I'm like, oh, she's helping regenerate our lawn right
Did you
now.
mention that to the vet?
No,
Okay, sorry. That had nothing to do with it.
sorry, I
Stevie
got
just went to the vet.
sidetracked.
'Cause that's not necessarily a good thing in dogs. I've heard that's not
It's
great.
always when I'm like, I just think it's funny when I'm doing stuff in the garden, pulling stuff up, and then she automatically just starts ripping at the grass. And I'm like,
Yeah, she's a
you're
little
helping. Thank
cow.
you. I'm like, what are you doing?
So Danielle was talking about Liberty apple trees,
Okay.
and she prefers them because they don't grow very tall but they grow quickly.
Oh, okay.
So she's like
Easy to
shorter like
pick. Yeah.
us. So it's easier to reach those
Good to
guys.
know. Noted.
Okay, this is what made me feel better because I'm the type of person where when I get something that has seeds, like my rigid thinking is like, I need every single seed.
Yeah.
Like, I
You
can't
are
let
the
this go to
new
waste.
U.S. seed bank.
Literally, like Walmart, heirloom. I don't discriminate. Every seed I
Yeah.
want to keep. But she says that growing apples from seeds can produce a woody, almost crab apple like fruit,
Interesting.
like almost every time.
Yeah.
The only way to grow another healthy tree with good tasting fruit is to take a branch from the original tree and graft it onto the rootstock of another tree,
Yeah.
which I had no idea about. Every single Liberty tree on their farm is from a single seed. And it was like a full orchard.
Wow. What do they mean when they graft it onto another root?
So they didn't show that. So we're going to have to look into that a little bit more because she was just like, yep, you just plop it on. Like, so I'm not really sure what the I'm sure you like have a special way
Yeah.
that you like bind the roots. You probably like score it.
Well, because there's like different ways to graft it. Like you like open the end, and sometimes people will graft it straight to a tree, and then they'll take it off when it starts to do its rooting.
Right.
But then you can also graft things by like taking a plastic bag with soil in it and doing it that way too, and doing
I've
the
seen
same thing
that.
to
I've seen
the
videos of that.
branch. Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, here's what I learned about grafting. Grafting only occurs when trees are dormant, like around March.
Interesting.
Phloem is what they call the blood of the tree. It's like this white, sappy.
I know what you're talking about.
And then xylem is the skeleton of the tree or the wood.
Okay.
So those are just like vocab words that I learned.
Interesting.
Budding is like the opposite of grafting, and that occurs in the summertime. And I
Okay.
think that she didn't show us grafting because it must have been summertime when they were shooting,
Oh,
because she
okay.
did show us budding. And so they took this tiny little bud off of this tree and they like pressed it up against another. I don't know if it was another tree or the same tree, but they pressed it up against it and like carved out the shape of this bud and then stripped off the bark just in that little one spot and then taped the bud onto the tree. So it would the tree would like absorb it and it would start growing another branch there.
Whoa, to make another tree.
Yeah.
How do they take it off?
I don't know.
We'll have to
They-
look into that
yeah,
for sure,
they didn't
because
get that
I'm
far.
very intrigued. My brain's going everywhere right
I mean,
now.
that like grafting is a whole episode. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
Noted. We should add that.
I also learned the proper way to pick an apple. You know
What
what
is
the
it?
proper way to pick an apple
A
is?
little twist and a flip.
You pull it upwards against the grain. You go boop, and if it's ready, it should pop right off.
I'm not tall enough for that.
Well, if you got a Liberty tree.
True.
I also learned that early American settlers drank apples rather than ate apples. They did that as a safe drinking source
That's
compared to the
interesting.
local bodies of water.
Yeah.
Kind of like beer and ale.
Yeah.
So that's all for episode 1, which was about apples.
Heck
I don't
yeah,
even know if I said that at the
apples.
beginning. Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Episode 2 was about tomatoes.
Ooh.
So the beginning of this episode was fucking hilarious. First and foremost, he was talking about something, and then he had a tomato in his hand, and then he said, "Walk this way. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing." I literally laughed out loud. It was so funny. He said to one kid, "Do you know who Justin Bieber is?" And the kid's like, "No."
What?
He's like, "Do you know who Harry Styles is?" And the kid's like, "Are they creepy people?" Just thought that was topical.
Oh man.
And then the last kid he interviewed was in like a literal hurricane. Like this kid comes out with this umbrella and there's like light. I don't know if there was actually lightning flashing or if they were just playing the shit up, but there's like lightning flashing and this umbrella turns inside out.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, "Quick!" Like ask him a question. The kid's like, "Ah." So yeah, that was the kid's
That's pretty
interview at the
funny.
beginning of that one. So then the like quote of this one was, "According to the USDA, Americans eat about 22 to 24 pounds of tomatoes per person per year. About half of that comes from ketchup and sauce."
Wow.
Because I don't know.
Mess around with the sauce.
I don't know about that many people who like a tomato like an apple.
When
I'm not one of
people
them.
eat a tomato, I'm looking at you, whoever you are, like an apple. It is not okay. It's not acceptable. Don't do it in front of me. Ew.
Yeah, it's a little extreme.
That's all I have to say
But
about that.
these
Write me an email.
these tomatoes at this farm, Stellar Raven Ecological Farm, he made me want to bite into just a whole ass tomato. Like the way he was describing them, so good.
No, thank you.
I used to not like tomatoes at all, and then one day I bit into a sandwich that had a tomato, and I just like left it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a big girl. I'm just gonna eat this tomato on this sandwich.
Yikes.
And I was like, I was chewing, and I was like, this kind of tastes like the way pumpkin smells. And ever since I had that thought, I've never really minded tomato. Isn't that weird?
That's very weird because the way pumpkins smell makes me want to bomb.
It's just like squashy.
No, pumpkins do not smell like squash to me.
What do they smell like to you?
Horrible.
Okay.
And you always make me feel bad when I don't want to carve them.
Well, Halloween is my favorite
I know.
holiday.
I know
You gotta
that.
be festive.
I know
with
that.
me.
I'm just saying. I'm like not breathing while we do it.
So I forgot to take down this lady's name. Maybe I did. Hold on. Yeah, I forgot to take down her name. But she said that a tomato is a fruit.
I believe that. Still not okay to eat it that way.
And she said it's because the seeds are inside of it
Yeah.
or on the fruiting body instead of in the flowers. That's how you can tell a fruit from a vegetable.
Okay, that's a valid argument.
Mm-hmm. Because like cabbage, it's in broccoli,
Yeah.
flower. So-
Potatoes.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah, flower.
no.
Well, doing it from the potato itself was like a different level. I don't know what you would consider that. But there are
Okay.
also seeds, and the seeds are from the flower.
Okay. I believe you.
So these are their tips for growing tomatoes successfully. They said plant multiple per pot. Well, not per pot, but however you do your little sprouting. They had little tiny cells that were like an inch by an inch.
Mhm.
And she planted like 4 seeds per. And she said, pick the strongest, cut the others with scissors because tomatoes prefer it when you leave the roots of their dying kin. That helps them out.
That is savage.
She didn't say it like that,
tomatoes.
but
You got your point across.
so when a tomato grows its second set of leaves, it's ready for the gallon pot.
Okay.
And you're going to bury it like basically as deep as you possibly can because all of
Mhm.
those little spikes on the sides are going to turn into roots.
Heck yeah.
And the more roots, the better. And they said once in the gallon pot, once the roots are growing out of the bottom of that, you're going to transfer it into an even bigger pot. And that's when you're going to bury it again.
Mm-hmm. We honestly probably need to transfer ours into gallon pots soon.
I think so. They're ready. That's so funny because my next note is that we need to start using a trough for our because we grow our tomatoes in 5-gallon
that was
buckets.
a good idea.
And they recommend, because watering from the top isn't always the greatest because it can compact the soil.
And it can create mold on the stems.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And they don't like their leaves getting wet.
No, they don't.
So they really recommended watering it from the bottom.
Yeah, we're definitely going to try that.
Yeah. So she also explained the difference between determinate and indeterminate tomato
Okay.
plants. So determinate, also considered bush tomato plants. All tomatoes form at the same time, and then the plant dies.
Oh.
That's that. And then indeterminate, or sometimes called vine tomatoes, production starts from the bottom and grows to the top.
Interesting.
And she said that with warmer climate upon us, with good old frickin' climate change, indeterminate tomato plants are going to fare better than determinate because they do better in warmer temperatures.
Yeah. They did really well in our greenhouse.
Yeah,
because of
that's what
that.
I was going to say. Last year we had like a tomato jungle in our greenhouse. It was like
Yeah.
all our greenhouse was set up for. And I really preferred the indeterminate because we did have a couple determinate ones, and it was just like all at once and super overwhelming. And then it was like, bye.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, okay. Like I thought we were just getting started.
Yeah.
Whereas the indeterminate ones like lasted for the whole season, and I can go in and like pick a couple, and it
When
like
we
wasn't
needed them, yep.
overwhelming. Yeah, when we needed them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still getting into canning and preserving, so when I have a big load of something, I still get really overwhelmed with it.
Yeah.
So I like the pace.
We have a
of
lot
the,
more supplies this year.
Yeah,
So it'll be easier to like make sauce on the spot and do all that easy stuff. It'll
yeah.
be nice.
Wrangle you into helping me. Oh, she said the taste even improves with the warmer temperature for some of the indeterminate species.
I believe
So
that.
I thought that was interesting. And then real quick, they said all grocery stores care about is how well food travels, which
Yeah.
I think this will be a bigger task to tackle, but one of my favorite books, and if anyone ever asks me, like, what book changed your life, I would say Vegetable Animal Miracle by, oh, her last name is Kingsolver, something like that.
Mhm.
I'll put it in the show notes. But that book was incredible. It literally went so deep into so many things, and it basically follows them in a year of them making, growing, and preserving their own food and not
Yeah.
getting anything from anywhere other than like the farmer's market and their neighbors.
Yeah. And it was fun because we both pretty much read that book while we were at
Well,
the
that's what I was
farmer's
going to
market.
say is you still need to read it, and I
Yeah,
still
I
have
need
to
to
finish
finish
the
it.
last chapter, but I'd like to read it again and like score up the book and
Yeah.
take a pencil and write notes. But we should maybe do like a long-term commentary on that book because that book is
That
incredible.
is a good idea. We could do it by the season or even by just the month. By
Yeah,
the chapter.
yeah. But this quote just made me think of that because she does talk about like how when you go to a grocery store and get vegetables, it's basically dead nutrients.
Yeah.
They've traveled so far, they've been sprayed with weird
Yeah.
stuff.
They've been in and out of different temperatures.
Yeah. Like it's better than processed food, don't get me wrong, but it's still nutrients. It's like
Depleted.
a fraction of what it could
Yeah.
be, which is sad. So then there was another little like cut screen where it was quotes and like cute little graphics and
Mhm.
stuff. And it said, in the 18th century, wealthy Europeans were terrified of eating tomatoes because the rich aristocrats were dying after eating them, dubbing them poisoned apples. Do you want to know why they were dying?
Why?
It was actually because the tomatoes were absorbing the lead from their pewter plates.
Oh God.
I didn't think they were going to say that though, because I heard that people were terrified of eating tomatoes, and it was because they were part of the nightshade family.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
there is a very poisonous plant in the nightshade family called belladonna.
Yeah.
But other nightshades are actually completely fine to consume. Like potatoes are part of the nightshade family.
That's crazy.
And there's these tiny little black berries that grow around here. They're native and they look like little black tomatoes. They kind of taste like tomatoes a little bit too. They're very seedy, but they're edible and they're a part of the Nightshade family.
That's really cool.
But because of this one, everyone was afraid of him.
Terrified.
Yeah. So that was the end of the tomato episode. And then on to episode 3, which was foraging.
Oh my gosh.
I got
bet
so
you
excited.
Love that one.
Oh my God. So excited when he said that. And he started it in such a good way. He said he and his neighbors didn't necessarily get along politically, but they bonded over manure.
Wow.
Which is like what we're kind of doing.
Yeah.
And what we need to get back to collectively. We
Yeah.
need to get back to our community and looking at each other for help. And
Exactly. Like, just stop saying, I'm red, you're blue. That means I
yeah,
don't like you. Sounds insane.
it's hard though because like it's always on my mind, but it's only because my mind is trying to protect me.
Yeah. There's a lot going on, so it's fair for you to have those guards up.
Yeah. But I'm
Because at
trying
the
to
end of the
lower
day,
them.
yeah, people make choices and it affects everyone.
I also
so you're
listen
allowed
to
feel that
way
way.
too much true crime, so I just feel like everyone's gonna pull out a gun and just shoot me.
I hope
just
that
for looking
never
at
happens.
them. But so that's just me. Oh, foraging was a huge reason why I wanted a house that had woods too.
Yeah.
Was so that I could get my foraging on. Unfortunately, I haven't found anything good.
I mean, there's some pretty cool stuff in here that I feel like you didn't expect.
Yeah. There are some giant mushrooms that keep growing back in this direction over
Yeah.
here, but
And then, like, the grapes
they're
that
not
grow for the
edible.
bats. Like, it's just an interesting environment.
Yeah. And I feel like I just don't know enough. Like there's
Yeah.
probably a ton out there that I'm just not seeing or
Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely fucking incredible that this particular school that where he was interviewing these kids, they got them out into nature foraging once a week.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Is it the same one? I wonder if it's the same school that he kept going to. Because in my episodes, I'm pretty sure it was the same school.
Oh, maybe. That would make
They
sense.
had like a huge garden, and I was very impressed with it.
That's cool. My school had a pretty big garden. Not that big, but they had a pretty big greenhouse.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I like doing that stuff. I didn't know that 4-H was like farming and stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody explained to me what 4-H was, and I feel like I really missed an opportunity.
Me too, honestly.
I had no idea. One kid, he was my favorite kid. He apparently had 11 children. He's 6 years old. He has 11 children. Okay, so sidebar, he asked 2 different kids if they themselves have kids, and they both said yes. So
What?
I think this needs to be like a new TikTok trend. Like, can parents start asking their kids
How many
if
kids they
they,
have?
yeah, if they have kids and seeing what the answer is? Because they were like, yeah, I have kids. He's like, oh, how many? This one kid said 11. The other said 1. Like, they were like, yeah, absolutely. Like, so
100%. Why are you asking me that? Of course I
He's
have
like,
kids.
oh, you do? Yeah. What about it? I was like, whoa.
Ask me another question.
Right? Anyway, so this kid was talking about how they were out there foraging for hawthorn berries and fern tips. Like he sounded like such a little
Wow.
scientist. He was so cute. And they make tea in class with it.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
You should put pictures up right here of what those are.
Then,
Yeah.
okay, here's a hawthorn berry. And here's a fern. You see the tip? I also put, like, if I had gone to that school, I would be, like, on another level right now.
Yeah.
I would be, like, because, like, this is what I want to be doing. I want to know these things. So if I started that way at 6
go
years
now.
old,
Like, hey, can I?
well, now classes are, like, $1,000+
That's true.
Back then, when it's taxpayers' dollars, I don't know. This is probably, like, a private school with they get all these
That's not.
specialty
You're not wrong.
treatments. Specialty treatments of seeing nature.
Special tea. treatments.
LOL. At the end, they all brought him a little something to put in this hot water he had in a little canister. And they were each explaining what they got. They were like, blackberry leaf and putting it in. And then he poured them each a little cup of tea. And they were all like coming in for a cheers. And he's like, it's so hot. Like, get away from me. He was so afraid. It was so funny.
Why would you give a bunch of 6-year-olds
Literally.
hot tea?
And then, of course, as soon as he reacts like that, they're like, ha ha ha. Like,
We're gonna kill you.
oh my God.
6-year-olds are scary.
They honestly are. They terrify me.
They
It was
don't
my
have any
favorite.
remorse.
It's one of my favorite ages.
I feel like they don't understand what death is yet, so they just like don't give a single fuck. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, don't stab you with this knife.
Yeah, they're coming into their own bodily autonomy,
Yeah.
so they don't
It's like-
really understand.
It's like, it's not funny. Put down the knife.
Did you know that the French are apparently known for foraging?
No, I didn't know
Okay.
that about them.
You're from the UK, so
Yeah.
if you don't know that, I don't feel bad about
I
not knowing
don't.
that.
I feel like I
But
don't
they were like,
do
"Oh,
that.
the French are here." He met up with this French couple,
Interesting.
and they were like, "Yes, of course we forage," because I guess over there it is like cultural to
It's
just like
allowed.
go out and just
Yeah.
it's allowed.
Yeah. It's allowed,
Interesting.
America.
And we should do a whole episode, the dark history of foraging, and just like dive deep because it just has to do with slavery. Everything just dates back to slavery.
Yeah, and I feel like they
As-
dubbed a lot of things of like, nature preservation, but really it's just like they don't want people to get benefit from things. That's the only reason they buy it at this point.
So, speaking of nutrition and what you're lacking at the grocery store, did you know that wild blueberries have 3 to 4 times more antioxidants than regular blueberries, like
Wow.
farmed blueberries?
Wow.
So, our blueberries are lacking in antioxidants just because they're farmed.
That's weird.
I mean, it makes sense when you think about all the different plants that are around them that are contributing to the
That is true,
soil
yeah.
and they're like there's probably like a symbiotic system that's happening that we
Yeah.
don't even realize.
Probably what was going on, but all the blueberries in the back rows that are tangled with like raspberry bushes and God knows what else. I bet those are a little more have more nutrients than the ones that we have been able to kind of just make it to be blueberry rows.
Absolutely. Because when you think about it, people purposely companion plant
Mhm.
to enrich soil, to improve taste, to add nutrients. So
My dream is to have elderberries in between those plants. They are
yeah,
perfect for
that
what
would
I'm
be
gonna-
incredible. I love elderberries.
Yeah.
We should have elderberries between our apple trees too. I heard that's good to bring in
Ooh.
the pollinators you need for apple trees, like the
I
bees
wonder
you
how
need.
they do with pear trees.
I don't know. Did we tell them that we planted a pear tree?
No, I planted a pear tree. I'm so excited.
It's just a little stick in the ground right
And
now.
yeah,
It's
Stevie
not
hasn't
much to see.
Stevie hasn't messed with it yet, so
She
knock
almost
on wood.
ran full force into it the other day, but she didn't.
She's a
She
good girl.
avoided it.
Yeah.
So speaking of symbiotic relationships, they talk about the symbiotic relationship between mycelium and the roots of a tree, which I just think is so cool because the tree gives the mycelium, which is the main organism of the mushroom.
Oh, okay.
So the tree gives the mycelium like sugars and water. And the
Interesting.
mycelium, because obviously a tree root is like 10,000 times the size of a little mycelium root, they're able to get down into cracks and crevices that the tree isn't to pull up soil,
Yeah.
pull up water
Yeah.
and food and nutrients for the tree. So
That's really cool.
so yeah, they help support each other.
That's cute.
Yeah. The fruiting body of the mushroom, the part we can see,
Mhm.
is the reproductive part. Because obviously you bump it and all these spores go flying.
Interesting.
So that's a little sex organ.
Yikes.
Ooh. And then they talked about how eating obviously the wrong mushroom can upset your tummy, but
Yeah.
also eating too many mushrooms can upset your tummy.
Oh.
And I can say that is true from a firsthand account because when we went to Sierra the last time, they
Mhm.
had mushroom jerky, and I was like, "Ooh,
Oh my
I'm gonna
gosh.
try that. That looks good." And I did, and it was delicious. And I ate basically the whole bag, and my tummy was crampy
Yeah.
after,
That
like
does not
almost
sound like a good
immediately
time.
after. So go slow with your mushies.
Yeah, take it easy.
Originally, we thought we were gonna watch the first 3 together and
Yeah.
just comment on what we thought, but then we didn't realize that they were gonna be so short, so we ended up splitting it. So what I have here is just my last thoughts. So I really like that at the end of every episode, Zach says, "The future is agrarian."
Yeah, me too.
So what he's basically saying is that the future is about self-sustainability, but more importantly, community sustainability
Yeah, doing
Which-
it together.
is going to be like the next buzzword or whatever. Community
I hope so.
sustainability. Because I'm going to get woo-woo here for a second.
Woo-woo. Uh-oh.
Supposedly we're shifting into a new paradigm, and this new paradigm is about the individual, which means we're pulling away from like AI, from corporations,
I really hope
from
so.
money, from the patriarchy,
Yeah.
from what we deem societal norms in general.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to start shifting more to the individual, which is like more community based. Your neighbor, yourself, growing your own food.
Yeah.
If you have an excess, trading with your neighbor, bartering, things like it. It's going to go from large scale to small scale. That's
Yeah.
just what I've heard.
I mean, I feel like it would do us some good. Do I think that it'll happen in a peaceful way? Probably not.
No, things are going to have to crumble
Yeah.
for that to be a reality.
I mean, when you think about it, yeah, we're all so far stretched. We're also stressed about things that are thousands and thousands of miles away. And yeah, it's a good thing to care about other people, especially when they don't have certain rights and people are just taking advantage. But at the end of the day, if you're not taking care of your neighbor, what's it all for?
Yeah,
What's all that stress for?
exactly.
And we definitely have come far from that. So I definitely agree.
I just got on a little soapbox. I just said everyone has a skill to offer their community,
Yeah.
and we need to support our local farmers markets, farm stands, and farm stores.
Yeah, we do.
I guess you're right. That wasn't nearly as big of a soapbox as the one I just stepped down from, but that is all. Those are my 3 episodes.
Okay.
What's our time? Okay, so we were debating making Jeidan's part a part 2, and I think we should.
Yeah, we will. So this will be the next mini-sode. I'll get into episodes 4, 5, and 6. I guess I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. Is that okay?
That's okay, but it's not going to be the next mini-sode. Because the next episode is maple syrup. And that mini-sode is locked and loaded.
You're right. Okay, so it'll be the one after that.
Yep.
So in this episode, or in these 3 episodes, we follow Zach as he finds out the dirt on root vegetables,
Ooh.
the corny jokes of the history of corn, and the tea about composting. And that's all I'll say.
I love it. I can't wait.
Yeah, and I'm excited to watch those 3 episodes with you. I'm excited to watch it all again with you.
Yeah, and this little break will give you guys a chance to look into it.
Yeah, definitely watch it. They're like my 3 episodes, I think, were like 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 12 minutes. And it's just enough where you learn a lot and it's fun.
Yeah,
It's
they're bite-sized
he's
and they're
hilarious.
hilarious.
If
They're
you don't
so
know
good.
who we're talking about, he's the guy from The Hangover. Like, he's wicked funny.
Yeah, at one point he was like, I don't want there to be a blooper reel. And the guy filming was like, why not? And he's like, my whole life is a blooper reel.
Yeah. There were some pretty good blooper reels at the end. They were intentional, obviously. But
Oh,
like,
cool. I can't wait
yeah.
to see them.
Yeah.
So today is April 30th, and the Farmer's Almanac says from the 29th to the 30th, there was a significant flash flood in Alabama and Florida in 2014.
Yikes. Well, did you hear about the tornadoes?
Oh, God. They're going to get so bad. It's progressively
Did you hear about the
worse.
one that happened yesterday?
No.
And it
Where?
was huge, multiple, like all in the Midwest. I think
Where?
mainly in Oklahoma, got destroyed. I think it was Oklahoma. One of them, scary big. And then there's another one on the side of it.
That shit is
They said there was
terrifying.
multiple touchdowns. And then like Georgia is the opposite of what I guess happened back then. Like they have like serious droughts right now.
Oh,
They've been doing a
no.
bunch of fire preventions because like it's getting bad.
That's
Which
so
I think
scary.
is crazy.
My heart goes out to everyone dealing with all that.
Yeah. And it's not even the beginning of summer yet.
No, it's gonna get so much.
Yeah.
Like every year,
But I
just get
was
so much more and more worried.
I was at least like grateful and proud to see that like the state was taking it very seriously to like make it so it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like they're doing the controlled burns right now, so that there's like the lines, you know what I mean? So the fires stop.
Well, a good amount of fire starting is because of people, which
Yeah.
is absolute. I
Because
can't
of
even wrap
assholes.
my mind around that.
I don't
That
know why
just
you. Yeah.
grinds my gears.
Yeah. I don't know why you would go on a hike and think to yourself halfway through, I'm gonna light a tree on fire.
Like what?
Like just stay home instead. Light your house on fire.
Literally.
Look, what's wrong with you?
Anyway,
Anyway.
today is the best day to cut hair to encourage growth, paint, and get married.
Ooh la
Ooh
la.
la la.
Well, we're excited to see you guys next week. We hope you stay safe until then.
Absolutely.
Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube
And TikTok.
at Two Tools No Clue Podcast.
You can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/2toolsnoclue. And you can email us your topic ideas, your commentary on This Is a Gardening Show, your constructive criticism, just saying hi.
Just whatever.
You can email us at twotoolsnocluepodcast@gmail.com.
Heck yeah.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you guys next week.
Or will you see us?
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Two tools. Two tools.